Hello, everyone. This is Troy Harper. Welcome to Harper Cigar Lounge. This is episode 9, and this is a very special edition of this podcast today. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. Thanks for joining me. I'm really excited to be here. Couldn't wait to get back to you guys again. Pretty good week for me at work this time around, but still needed this very much. And I'm glad you guys could join me today. Got the lights dimmed down in my cigar lounge here and got my candles going. Got everything that I need for today's show, my cutters, my lighters, my ashtray, of course. And we'll be discussing some different issues with music today. Of course, I've got a cigar to review and smoke today and let you know what I think of it. And it's a very special cigar that I'll reveal to you in just a moment. Um, but anyway, we'll discuss some latest news with the music world out there, and we'll be discussing some Irish metal today as well. I started kind of looking into the whole Irish metal scene, and I'm doing this because this is a St. Patrick's Day special edition podcast of Harper Cigar Lounge. So trying to keep the themes Irish today. So um, anyway, started looking up about Irish metal, and I could not believe what I found. There is just a big scene with Irish metal out there, and there's one band that I will discuss that I'm just so impressed with, and I'll get into that here shortly. But anyway, and I'll show you a few other things from my collection and take a trip down memory lane and just discuss some of my past experiences within the music world and everything. But anyway, thanks again, guys, for joining me today. I'm so glad you could be here. And all you Harper Cigar Lounge members out there, welcome to the family. And keep rocking, guys. Keep smoking those cigars. And today, I hope you're joining me and relaxing and just not worrying about what's going on out there in the world and just escaping with me for a little bit. But I hope you got something to smoke and drink today that will make you feeling good, and I'll get you recharged a little bit maybe for the rest of the week going into the weekend. Um, but anyway, I hope you guys are comfortable and hope you guys are uh, right now just relaxing and enjoying yourselves. But I plan for this to be a pretty fun show today, and I think you guys will have fun today with me. And again, thank you for joining me and thank you for all your support. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. I'm also not sponsored by anybody. I'm not doing this for any money. So anything I discuss is not sponsored by any cigar companies or any other companies that maybe I bring up. Just want you guys to know that I do this out of my own passion because this is what I love and this is what I plan to continue to love through the rest of my life until the last day of my life, I guess. But music and cigars, it's in my blood. Obviously, I can't shake it, and I'm not going to try to, but it's just a part of me. It's a huge part of my life, cigars and music, especially the hard rock, heavy metal scene. And it's just, like I said, in my blood. It's a part of me. It's a part of my DNA, and maybe some of you guys out there can relate to that. So anyway, this is, if you're new to watching this, everything that I discuss is based around, cigars, of course, and the hard rock heavy metal scene. So welcome. And if you're a new cigar smoker, if you're new, maybe you're a younger adult and you're learning about all the old metal bands and everything that's been out there over the years, tracing back to the early '70s, late '60s, starting with Black Sabbath, maybe even going back a little bit earlier with Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix, if you want to consider those guys hard rock or so. The Who, just so many great bands that go back into the '60s even. But if you're new to this whole scene and you're looking to find some really great groups to listen to, and go to my Harper Cigar Lounge page. Scroll through everything. You'll find just all kinds of stuff about cigars and the heavy metal, hard rock bands that have been around for a long time. And look up some of those names if you run across certain things that interest you. Look those bands up. Look them up on YouTube. and you will find some really great music to listen to. So if you're new to all this, welcome, and please go to my Harper Cigar Lounge page on Facebook and join that. There's nothing to sign into. You can just go right onto that page and sign in and join. So please do that. So anyway, so I guess I'll go ahead and reveal what cigar I'm going to smoke today and review. This one is called the Alec Bradley. Let's see here. I gotta get. Let's see here. Trying to get that in the picture there for you guys to see. But anyway, I hope you guys can kind of see that. It's the Alec Bradley. Like I said, it's a Filthy Hooligan, and it's a 6x50 cigar. And anyway, but I've never smoked this cigar, and looking it up on the internet, just trying to find information on this for the taste notes and aromas, or things you get from the cold draw, taste from the wrapper. There's nothing. It discusses nothing about it. So I guess Alec Bradley wants you to, when you try the cigar, to be uh, totally going into it blind and to be surprised by what you get out of it yourself. So, but but this cigar, um, it runs around 1369 for a single, and it's around $61.43 for a pack of five. And I'm getting this information off of Cigars Daily. And again, I'm not being supported by these guys. I'm just doing this out of my own passion, like I said. But I went to Cigars Daily to get the information on this. Um, and a box of cigars will cost you around $122.89 for a box. So, so the single, like I said, it's around $13.69 for one of these. So, but I've been waiting a long time to try this. I found this, um, gosh, probably almost a year ago, and it was after St. Patrick's Day when I found it. So I wanted to wait until I got to St. Patrick's Day to smoke this. So anyway, um, this is going to be really exciting to try, and I can't wait to get into this cigar. So, but anyway, just to give you a little bit of information on this, like I said, it's a 6x50. The filler is Honduran, or from Honduras, and Panama is the filler. The binder is Ecuador, Sumatra, and the wrapper is Barber Pole, Candela, Habano, Maduro. So anyway, so I just really think it's a neat cigar, and it's got three different colors on the wrapper, and I just think it's amazing how they did this. The people that hand rolled this and everything. It's just really beautiful cigar, and I almost hate to smoke it. It's such a nice looking cigar, but I've been very anxious to try this, so I'm gonna do this today for you guys. So, but anyway, thank you guys for joining in today. I hope you guys are having a great week so far, and I appreciate your guys' support and being a part of all this, and thank you. So, but anyway, if you haven't joined on the YouTube channel yet, under Harper Cigar Lounge, make sure you join that group, and that way you get all the updates and any notifications. But please leave your likes and your comments. I want to hear any feedback you guys have for me. Anything you want to hear more of or less of, whatever it may be. I want to know about you guys. I want to know about your hobbies. I want to know everything about you. And if you message me, I'll keep in touch. I promise you that. So just stay in touch. But anyway, enjoy the show today, and we'll start getting into the cigar. So, um, and I usually go through the steps when I smoke this, because there may be some of you watching that are brand new to this. But this is the cap, and this is what we'll clip, and this is the foot, and then of course you got the outside part, which is the wrapper, and then on the inside you've got underneath the wrapper you've got the binder, and then underneath that you've got the long filler on this cigar. There are cigars that have short filler, long filler, combination of both. Some have just short filler, which is for faster smokes, and they're usually a pretty low budget cigar. But there are some really good ones. But there are some cigars that are long filler and short filler, and they're really good quality cigars too. They're just made so it's better on your budgets, and so you can afford them a little bit better. But I have some around that are long filler and short filler, and they're great cigars, really great cigars. One that I really love is Rocky Patel the Edge. Um, they got all kinds of different ones of those, but they're really good cigars, and they're I don't know, they're just maybe $3 or $4 a cigar or so, but really good if you ever want to try something that will be easy on your budget. Go to Cigar Place and look up Rocky Patel the Edge. They've got all kinds of different ones that are really great. So I suggest those to you, especially if you're a beginner cigar. They got some mild cigars in that as well. They got some stronger ones as well too. So, but they got all kinds of different ones. Check them out. And then I also suggest uh, the Perdomo champagne cigar. That's great for beginners, and uh, just a really good mild vanilla kind of a taste to it. And so I suggest you try that out if you're a beginner. But this is supposed to be around medium strength, and so I don't know if I'd really suggest it to you if you're a beginner smoker. Um, but we'll see how it turns out. We'll see what the flavor notes are, and we'll see if it's very strong or not. I'll let you know all that. But I'm going to start by moistening the cap, and that way when I go to cut it, I won't crack the cap on it. So I don't know if you can see that there, but there's the cap right around the top. There's the cap, and you don't want to cut all the way through that because you're taking a risk of your cigar falling apart and unraveling on you, which I'm going to guarantee 99.9% of the time it's going to happen. So you got to be really careful how deep you cut into the cap. Um, I use a lot this guillotine cutter, and this is from the Deadwood Tobacco Company that I picked up last year from them. But on the back, it's covered, so when you cut it, you can't go too deep. So it's just really handy, especially if you're a beginner, cigar smoker. That way, you're guaranteed you're not going to go too deep on that. So for for really small kind of cigars, I would not suggest this. It could be too deep for something like that, but for a normal size cigar like this works great. Um, but there are other cutters that you can get um, that are like this, that are opened up, and when you maybe cut a smaller cigar with one of these, just barely put the tip in there and cut a little bit off. And if it's still not enough, then you can cut just a slight bit more off. For just those would be for cigars that are just really small, like a 4x40 or something like that. I'm guessing would be the measurements. You wouldn't want to probably use this because it doesn't cut. Or I'm sorry, this one, it doesn't cut too deep on a normal size cigar like this. But the smaller cigars, I would probably try to stick with a guillotine cutter that opens up all the way. Just put that cap in just slightly into it and snip a little bit off, and then if it's not enough, then maybe you can slip cut just a little bit more off. But it's really up to you how you want to do it. Anything you do with your cigars, it's up to you how you do it. It's whatever works for you. You just got to find what works and stick with what works for you. So, but there's a lot of videos, a lot of podcasts you can listen to out there that you can download, and a lot of YouTube videos you can watch on the techniques of cutting and everything, lighting as well. And I'll show you how I light my cigar too. But there's just a lot of information out there that you can get a hold of if you're a new learner and new beginner, and just do a lot of studying, and you'll figure it out what works for you and what don't. So, and I've had to learn the hard way on a few things when I first started smoking premium cigars, and that's what these are considered as premium cigars. They're not handmade, or they're not machine-made cigars. Um, if you're looking for hand or machine-made cigars, that's what these are. The Swisher Sweets. Those are considered machine-made cigars. They don't have to be humidified. You can put them in a humidor if you want, but they don't require it. But these are machine-made cigars, and it's all short filler on the inside. And what short filler is, it's the leftovers from cigars that are made. It's the stuff they cut off and don't use for premium cigars, and they use those and they grind it up and make the cheap cigars out of it, which would be considered C-store cigars maybe, or something. But so anyway, Swisher Sweets is an option if you're on a low budget, but you can find premium cigars with really low prices too if you just do your research on websites. Cigars Daily and Cigar Place, and like I said, Cigars Daily. Cigars International is another option for you too to look into cigars, but Cigars Daily and Cigar Place are the two that are really great. That are great sites with great prices for your budgets, and there's not very much shipping charges, if any. So just a lot of great deals. So check those two websites out, and those two sites are not supporting me or sponsoring me in any way. Just want you guys to know about those because those are some sources I go to, especially if I'm looking up information for you guys on a certain cigar that I'm smoking. I'll look up on their websites for information too. And they got a lot of information for you if you're wanting to just look up certain cigars that you want to learn about that maybe you're curious about trying. So anyway, well, I'm going to moisten this, and let me get a drink of water here. Got my Liquid Death water today. This is something that I've been bringing into my grocery store that I manage here in town, here in Kimball, Nebraska. But this one is called Severed Lime. So instead of severed limb, it's called Severed Lime. So anyway, but green for St. Patrick's Day. That was pretty good. Gotta find a way to cleanse my palate a little bit. I'm not sure what to think about the taste of the wrapper. Um, it's got a really different taste. I can't really put my finger on it. Kind of a woodsy, kind of a cedar taste, maybe. But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting cigar. I can tell already. So, um, but anyway, so we'll see what this does here. I'm really anxious. One thing nice about these guillotine cutters, I have this backing in it. When you cut your cigar and you put your cap into it, um, it will catch that. It'll catch the cap that you cut off right there, and then you can just take that out and throw it in your ashtray. So anyway, so now I've got it cut. Oh wow. Um, Gosh, I got a really nice chocolate, kind of a roasted coffee taste out of this so far off the cold draw. What I'm doing with the cold draw is I'm just uh, breathing in or sucking in on the cigar, trying to get a taste of the filler a little bit, and to see if my draw is going to be too loose or too tight. If it's too tight, then I can maybe cut just a little bit more off. But right now, it's perfect so far. So with what I've cut, the draw feels good. So I think it's ready to go ahead and light. So um, anyway, so I'm going to use my two torch cigar lighter today, and I want to tell my brother Grant, I'm sorry that I don't have that lighter from Dad uh, fixed yet, but I will get it done, and I will be using it in hopefully my next show. So um, my brother sent me my dad's um, Zippo lighter from the Navy, and it's like over 50 years old. This Zippo that my brother sent me, and I really did want to use it today, but it needs a rehaul, and I just haven't had a chance to get the parts yet. So, but once I get that fixed, I will try that in one of my cigar videos. I've never used a Zippo before, so that'll be a new experience for me to try that. But I am anxious to try that, especially since it was my dad's, and he passed away almost 7 years ago. So pretty special that my brother sent that to me. And brother Grant, I love you. Thank you again for that. I can't wait to use it, and I'm sorry that I'm not able to use it yet, but I will get that fixed. So anyway, so today I'm going to use my Two Torch Deadwood Tobacco Company lighter that I got also over in Deadwood, South Dakota, last year, along with my cutter. So anyway, but this is a Two Torch flame cigar lighter, as you can see, and it's just right for indoors for a cigar this size. And really, all I want to do is just keep the flame away from it enough to where I'm just toasting the edge of it. I'm just toasting that tobacco in there. I'm not scorching it. And I want to turn my cigar around a little bit as I do it, rotate it, so I can get all of it burned evenly or toasted evenly. So that's what I'm working on right now. But anyway, like I said, today is if I haven't mentioned it yet, today's a special edition of Harper Cigar Lounge. It's a St. Patrick's Day version of this of this show. So I wanted to kind of celebrate St. Patrick's Day a little bit today, um, and do some subject matter today, and smoke a cigar that's Irish, and some subject matter that's Irish around the Ireland areas. Um, so anyway, so he's a little bit more of a touch up here. Okay, when I blow on it, I want it to glow orange, just like that, where you see it all bright there. I want to see it all lit up when I blow on it, but it's not doing that quite yet. Give it just a little bit more. There we go. There, and it's nice and lit all the way through. It's evenly lit everywhere. So this is ready to smoke now. But anyway, so this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun cigar to smoke. I'm glad I'm finally getting to do it and getting to do it with you guys. If you have had the Filthy Hooligan, um, let me know what you think of it. Let me know your experiences with it, and I'll hopefully what you experience and what I'm experiencing is similar. But let me know if it was a good experience or a bad experience for you. But hopefully it's a good experience for me today. And so anyway, a lot of nice smoke coming off of it so far, and the aromas are pretty good. Kind of a cedar kind of a aroma to it so far. A little bit of, I don't know. I'm getting some sweet aromas in the air too, a little bit from this. Definitely getting some cedar taste to it so far. Some slight spice and pepper as well. So right now, I'm going to consider this probably a medium bodied cigar so far from what I'm tasting. So it's already developing some nice ash on it, as you can see. So I hope my lighting's good in this video today. Trying some different lighting today in my lounge. I got some kind of light orange lights and some blue lights going across my ceiling still. As you can see, kind of behind me on my Kiss tapestry, you can kind of see the blue light hitting that, and you can kind of see the orange or the orangish light kind of hitting me. Um, so anyway, I thought I'd try some different lighting today to see how it looks. Let me know what you guys think. If it looks good to you, if it don't, we'll go back to the way we've done the lighting before. So, but anyway, I am so excited to be here today. I've had kind of a long week, but it wasn't a bad week, and but just always anxious to get down here and hang out with you guys and discuss metal and to talk about the metal scene, hard rock scene, and to discuss, memories of mine. And I want you guys to message me with any great memories you have as well, with concerts you've been to, or just if you've been a part of the music scene somehow. Let me know. I want to know about that. But anyway, so yeah, hard rock, heavy metal, it's definitely my passion along with cigars. And so this is this podcast is based around those two subjects. But there's nothing like cigars and music that bring people together in really great ways, and it builds relationships. And and they say on TV, and I'm a huge football fan too, and I do believe football brings families together as well. I think there's a lot of great things that come out of football, great things that are taught through it. That can build good family bonds and strong relationships. When families involved, with maybe a son or whatever that's in football or something. I think when families are together, I think even that brings families together. But my podcasts are basically based around heavy metal and cigars, hard rock, heavy metal cigars. So those are the subjects that I stick with the most. Um, but I am a huge football fan. Dallas Cowboys are my team. I love the Texas Longhorns and in college, and for baseball, I love the Texas Rangers. Hockey, I love the Dallas Stars. So I'm a big follower of all the Dallas teams. Originally from the Houston, Texas area. That's where I was born at, and we moved away when I was pretty young. But those are the teams I've always followed, and still get a little disappointed when they don't make it as far as I'd like to see them make it. But anyway, so anyway, but getting back to music and everything, it's just and cigars. There's nothing like music and cigars that bring people together, I believe, and so I thought what would be best to do, but to put both of those together, and do a podcast based around those two subjects because it brings it brings great relationships together. People together that you know that can really benefit from being together while you're smoking a cigar, listening to music. It's a good time, and it brings people together. A lot. So I thought this would be a great way to bring more people together somehow. And you guys are family to me, and um, so welcome again, and again, thank you for if you've joined the Harper Cigar Lounge group page on Facebook, and if you've joined the my channel on YouTube, thank you. You guys are awesome, and you guys are definitely family. So anyway, thank you again. Without your support and without you being a part of this would not be possible. It wouldn't mean anything to me without you guys. So, but you guys that are starting out, when you smoke cigars, you don't want to breathe the smoke down into your lungs like a cigarette. You want to just keep it in your mouth, taste the flavors of it, and then release it out slowly, and then enjoy the aromas in the air so that come off of that. And a cigar like this will last usually about an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes, I would say. But I would suggest that you allow yourself a good couple hours. If you're going to sit down and enjoy a premium cigar. Um, a 6x50, 6x60, you're going to need at least a couple hours probably to enjoy it fully. A smaller cigar, maybe an hour and a half, but just allow yourself some time to enjoy it and relax and, reflect on your life and just think about things in your life that you are very thankful for and just reflect on things, enjoy this. People took a lot of time to make this, and it's just, if you look up how cigars are made, you'll find out for yourself the process through it and what it takes to make one of these. And when you see all the work that goes into it, it makes you appreciate it more. Knowing that these are made by human hands and not by machines. So that's what makes it so special. For me anyway. And I feel like I'm kind of in that country where it came from. It just kind of makes me think about what it's like in those areas and what it's like to go through the process of making these and but looking at videos and reading books that I've read, it's just amazing what people go through to make these and all the stuff they go through to make sure that these are as perfect as possible. So we really have great, enjoyable moments with these. So thank you guys that are out there, you know, making these cigars. I don't know if you get enough recognition for that, but hats off to you guys, you know, for what you go through to make these special for us. So we have really special and great experiences with these. So I'm still getting a lot of cedar aromas in the air. Um, and there is a lot of great smoke coming off of this, but getting a lot of cedar smell. And for taste wise, I'm getting a little bit of maybe a white pepper taste. Um, getting some cedar taste and some pepper, like I said, white pepper maybe, and just a slight sweetness in the wrapper as well right now. But I definitely say I'm going to say this is probably a medium to full bodied flavored cigar. So I definitely would not probably suggest this to a beginner. Um, anyway, but you guys are experienced smokers. If you haven't tried this, it's worth a try definitely, and see what you think of it. But anyway, so far it's burning pretty well. There's a little bit of a slight uneven burn going on with it right now. A little bit. Let's see here, right there. But hopefully it'll straighten itself out. Hopefully it won't stay that way. Hopefully it'll even itself out. If not, I'll have to do a little bit of a touch up on it, and I'll show you guys how that works when if it comes down to me having to do that. I'll do that. If it doesn't give me the chance, or if it don't give me the chance to do it, I'll kind of show you how it works anyway. But hopefully I won't have to really do that. But I will show you how that works here. But anyway, I'll be 53 this year in August, and so I started getting into music when I was about 6 years old. My parents bought me a bunch of cassettes, bought me the Beach Boys' "Endless Summer," Elvis live at Graceland, and of course these were cassettes. Bought me, oh gosh, I'm trying to think what else there was. But one of the things they bought me, of course, I had it on cassette at the time, but they bought me REO Speedwagon as well, and it was called "Lost in a Dream." Well, I ended up finding the album to that, and I don't know if mom and dad, or mom, I'm sorry, mom, if you're watching, and Uncle Gary, if you're watching, I don't know if you guys remember this album way back when, but this came out in 1974. I believe is what it said. Yeah, 1974, and there's the back of it of this album. But I had this cassette, and when I was a kid, and this was the one I gravitated towards more. I love the guitar riffs, and I love the edginess about it. And of course, this album doesn't have Kevin Cronin on it. This gentleman here is the singer, the lead singer, and I'm trying to remember his name. But shoot, I wish I could remember his name. Maybe his name's on the inside of this. I'm trying to remember. I've only played it once since I found it. But let me see here. Let me get the insert out here. So there's the insert, kind of the same as it is on the back for the most part. But let's see here. Let's see if I can find the names of these guys. And let's see. Well, Mike Murphy's is vocals. Um, but gosh darn, I can't remember the name of these guys. But really good album. If you're looking for an older REO Speedwagon album, this is a really good album to get a hold of. But anyway, I cannot remember the name of these guys for the life of me in here, um, but a really great album. And this was when I had the cassette, I played it constantly. It was the one I listened to the most. But it's really kind of, I don't know, a lot of synthesizers in it, and very bluesy kind of vocal styles, and of course a lot of great guitar riffs in there. Um, but anyway, great album. And again, I wish I could remember the names of these guys better, but maybe you can message me with the names of these guys. So um, I've always been an RL Speedwagon fan, somewhat. But I found this from a guy on eBay. I do a lot of dealing on eBay, and I found this on eBay from a guy, and sure enough, he said it was in great condition. It sure was. The album looks like it was never played hardly at all. So, a great album, and I do want to listen to this again eventually. But I've listened to it once since I bought it, and it sounded really good. Brought back a lot of memories too when I first got that first set of music from my parents. But anyway, so it's a good album if you guys find that. Pick it up if you're an REO Speedwagon fan. Well, this cigar is continuing to burn more on the one side than the other. You can see how it's up burning unevenly, which isn't always a big deal. You just got to touch it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to light around the edge that's not burned down as much as that one side and try to get it even back out. And I don't want to keep the flame too close to it. I just want to keep it far enough back to where I can kind of singe that wrapper a little bit and get it burned down to the other area that is burning more. So trying to get that evened out as much as I can. So I'm just kind of spinning my cigar around to get that wrapper burned down a little bit. That way, that way I'll hopefully start um, evening out. So I dropped my ash a little bit. So let me take care of that really quick. I should have asked it before I started doing that, I guess. But anyway, no harm done. But anyway, so as you can see now, I've got it pretty well evened out. I'll show that to you again. Now that I burn that wrapper down, it's all even again. So we'll see if it burns even from here on. Hopefully it will. Um, but cigars will at times need a little bit of a touch up, to so it'll burn even again for you. Not a huge deal. As long as it only happens once or so, while you're smoking, it's not a big deal. If it continues to happen, um, there are some other things you can do. What happens sometimes is, these leaves are rolled, and they're not rolled always perfectly, because they're made by human hands, and of course people aren't perfect, and so products that are made aren't always perfect either. But sometimes what happens is the areas that aren't burning down as much as another side is because the side that's burning down more has looser leaves rolled in that area, and maybe on the other side it's tighter where airflow is not getting through it as much. And so, if you got a side that's burning down more than the rest, it's probably because there's more airflow going through that one side, and not as much on the other that's causing it to not burn evenly. So, what you can do is you can take the area that's not burning down like it should. You can take that inside of your ashtray and kind of give it a gentle push and twist at the same time, and that will loosen those leaves up a little bit to where you can get better airflow through it. So try that if that ever happens to you guys. If you've got a cigar that just, after you've touched it up once, if it continues to not burn evenly, try that. Just press it. Just take the edge of that on the inside of your ashtray. Just kind of give it a nice little firm twist against the ashtray, and that might loosen those leaves up to where the airflow will start going through it better. Um, so try that. See if that helps you. Hopefully, I won't have to do anything else to the cigar today. It's still burning evenly. The ash is getting kind of built up again, really nice. So, and I'm actually getting a little bit of a roasted coffee or a little bit of maybe a slight chocolate taste, maybe. And everyone's palates are different. So what I'm tasting might be different than what you're tasting. But that's why I want to know what your experience is like as well. If I do a review of a certain cigar and you go out and try it, I want to know what your experience was, what you tasted, and to compare it with you to see, to see what you come up with and see what I come up with, and we'll learn together, how certain cigars are. So, but as you can see, it's got a lot of gray smoke coming off of it still, and the ash is burning. It's got a really nice ash, but it's burning really evenly still. So hopefully that one touch up did the trick and everything. So, but anyway, what are you guys listening to? Any kind of music in the background today while you're watching this? I've got my AC/DC shirt on, of course, today, and I've got a little bit of AC/DC on my TV in the background here. So, and what are you guys drinking today? Did you bring a drink with you today? I found something that I've never seen before, so I'm trying this today. But it's Guinness Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. I'd never seen this before. I found this over in another town that's close to us here, over in Scotts Bluff, and thought I would try it out. I like hard coffees once in a while. Um, and I'm not really a huge beer drinker. I do like beer a little bit. I do like darker beers. Um, I've kind of given Guinness a little more of a try lately. Um, so anyway, so I thought I'd try this out. I had a regular Guinness last night, and it was really the first time I'd ever really drank one. But I thought since St. Patrick's Day's here, I thought I would try it out. And I opened this up right before the video, before I started recording this for you guys. So I haven't tasted it yet. But cheers to you guys. And let me see how this tastes, because it might pair pretty well with this cigar. I don't know. So let me take a puff, actually. And I'll take a sip of this. Huh. That's interesting. Interesting flavor. Um, Definitely, you got the Guinness beer taste to it, but you got some hints of the like the coffees uh, in the back of your throat a little bit. That is interesting. If you guys, and that's pretty good actually, but if you guys run across this Guinness Nitro Cold Brew Coffee, maybe try it out if you're a Guinness fan. I'm going to take a sip this time, then do a puff to see if that changes the flavor of my cigar. Oh, wow. Um, it was interesting when I puffed first and then took a drink of the Guinness. Um, I got I got the nice beer taste, and I got the coffee taste in the back of my throat, like I said. But then once I took the drink first and then I did the puff afterwards, I got more of a sweeter taste of my cigar than what I had been here so far. So that was interesting. So um, I kind of feel like I got two different drinks with me, uh, a sweeter version and a more stronger version of it. So, but anyway, so that is pretty good actually. That is pretty good stuff. So, again, this is the Guinness Nitro Cold Brew Coffee. Give it a try if you see it. If you're a Guinness fan, uh, pick some of that up and try it. I think you guys might like this. So, but yeah, pretty good. But anyway, yeah. So I'm getting some nice coffee taste out of that beer. Man, it's really good, really good. So you guys pick that up and try it sometime. Um, anyway, I'll give you guys the latest on some of the music news that's going on. If any of you guys are Saxon fans, British metal band Saxon, which I had the privilege of seeing. Oh gosh, about 5 years ago, opened up for Judas Priest when they were doing when they started their Fire Power tour. Saw them in Casper, Wyoming, and like I said, it was about 5 years ago that I saw them. And Saxon opened up, and I had always wanted to see Saxon, and they put on such a great show. I didn't want to stop watching them; they were so good. Um, and of course, Judas Priest always puts on a great show. So I got a great show from Saxon and a great show from Judas Priest. But Saxon, they played an hour when I saw them. I could have watched them another 2 or 3 hours. They were just so good. So if you guys get a chance to watch or get to go see Saxon, go see them. Especially if you're into British metal, definitely catch Saxon. I think they've always been a really underrated British metal band. People know who they are for the most part, but they just don't seem to get talked about very much. Not compared to what like Motorhead or Judas Priest or Iron Maiden or Black Sabbath gets talked about. I just don't hear much people talk about Saxon, but boy, they put on a great show. So definitely go see them if you get a chance. Um, this ash is still building up real nice. I'll have to watch that. I'm inside, in my lounge, and when you're inside, you want to make sure you don't let your ash fall all over your floor, especially if you got carpet, which I've got cement floors down here, but I've got a nice rug under here that my wife picked up for me. And so I try not to drop ash on it. But most of the time, it's cool down enough to where it don't burn a hole in my carpet, but it just kind of makes a mess. And, so, so when you're inside, it's just good safety precaution. You don't want to start any kind of a fire inside your house. So really be careful, when you're smoking inside. Make sure that when you're done with your cigar, let it rest inside in your ashtray, for a while. I'd suggest overnight, let it stay in that ashtray, and then the next day, dump your ashtray out. But give it a good 24 hours, I would suggest, before you empty your ashtrays outside your house. So you don't start any fires in your trash can or anything. Um, but this has been a really fun lounge to hang out in, and my wife started this for me last summer. During my birthday, around my birthday time, so started this for me, and I've added memorabilia to it. Cigar memorabilia and music memorabilia to it, and yeah, it's just been a great lounge to hang out in with my friends and family. And it's not open to the public. It's private. So I do have friends and family that come over and hang out, but it's only by invite that I allow people to come over. So since it's in our house and it's in our basement, I just don't let people just come in and out of our house to come down here. I want to be here when people are down here because I want to make sure everyone's staying safe and smoking safely so they don't start anything, in my house. So it is private, and but you guys look me up, and if you come through the Kimball area and you want to come smoke with me, look me up. We'll come down here and we'll get to know each other and have a smoke together and talk and So anyway, but look me up if you're ever in the Kimball, Nebraska area. Let me know if you're coming through. If you come to my store, I got great premium cigars at my grocery store that I manage here, which is called Main Street Market. Um, I got really good premium cigars in my store that I sell. I'll give you guys a great deal on it. I got the cutters, lighters, Boveda packs. I've got travel humidors. I get a lot of truck drivers and people that are traveling through that like cigars, and so they end up buying those kinds of things from me when they travel through. And people in town, of course, that are just starting out smoking, they want something to keep a few cigars in, and so my travel humidors come in handy for them. So I've got 5 count, 10 count, 15 count travel humidors, and so a lot of people buy that when they're starting out. Being if they're a new cigar smoker, they'll buy one of those to start out with. And so, but anyway, look me up, guys, if you're in the Kimball, Nebraska area. Um, yeah, look me up sometime, and come check out my supply at the store and see if I can give you a good deal on those, and see if I have something that will interest you. So. And I've had some cigars that I've smoked where I have to kind of give them a relight, and hopefully I won't have to do that with the cigar today. hopefully it'll keep burning the way it needs to. So, but anyway, getting back to Saxon, I was going to tell you guys, um, if you're a Saxon fan, Biff Byford, um, the lead singer for Saxon, uh, he said he wasn't. Well, Paul Quinn is gonna step down from touring for a little while, and he's the bass player for Saxon, I believe, if I remember right. Um, let's see here. So yeah, so Paul Quinn has decided to step back from touring for a little bit. Hopefully, he'll go back to him. Um, But Biff says he's been discussing it for quite a while that he's wanted to step down from touring, and um, Paul Quinn is one of the founding members of Sax, and so he's besides Biff, he's the only other original member of Saxon. So but Biff is being very supportive of that. So just so you guys know that Paul Quinn is looking at stepping down. Uh, and I guess he already has anyway. I'm not sure who they found to replace him, but Saxon is touring still, so catch him, and hopefully Paul Quinn will be back with Saxon sometime soon. Hopefully he's just wanting to take a break for a little bit, maybe to be with his family or something, so that could very well be, but they are they've got an album that's supposed to be coming out here pretty soon. Um, so I'll be looking for that. Their music is so good. Just really great band. So I'm trying to find out what their new album is going to be called. But I hear they got a new album coming out. So hopefully that'll be a really good album and it'll be out soon. So anyway, but you guys keep an eye out for their new album as well. But they are known for songs called "Denim and Leather," "Princess of the Night," "Wheels of Steel," and "Power and Glory" are some of their really well-known songs. So hopefully Saxon will continue to do well and want to keep touring. So even though let's see here. So oh gosh, sorry guys. Um, Paul Quinn, I'm trying to say. Hopefully he'll be back soon, and he'll be back with the guys and want to continue to tour down, in the near future again. So, it looks like I might have to do a relight on this. It looks like it did go out on me. So let me give it a relight. I try to keep puffing on my cigars about every 30, 40 seconds. So I'm not smoking it too fast. If you smoke it too fast, you can ruin the taste of it because you're not giving the leaves a chance to burn very well. Um, you gotta let them burn a little bit in between each puff so you can get the taste from it. So I try not to puff on it too quick. If I'm in a hurry, I'll smoke a smaller cigar. That's not going to take me very long. And some of my smaller cigars are these Sweet Janes. They're like a 4x40 or 43, something like that. But they're just they come in a pack of 10, but they're just little cigars like that. And they're good if you only got about 15 or 20 minutes to smoke one. They're good for that. So that's what I usually try to do if I'm in more of a hurry. That way I'm not wasting my money on these nice big cigars and rushing through it. But if you rush through it too, you can get like some tar buildup. I don't know, there's tar that can build up in your cigars. Um, and that tastes really terrible. So, and I can't remember the science behind how the tar starts up, but I know if you smoke your cigars too fast, there it can burn in a way where it builds tar up somehow. And the taste of that I've experienced, it's really not very good at all. So don't burn your, or don't smoke your cigars too quick. Um, Sometimes they say that if they get too hot too fast, that's where the tar can build up. And I've got one of these little tools like this that I bought for cigars. And these are really good for certain cigars that are just, no matter what you do, it's still got really tight draw. You can poke this through the back, and you got to poke it evenly through, but you can poke it through and then poke it through the front as well. That way you get better airflow going through it. So these are really handy. But I read that if you poke just a little bit of hole, a little hole on the side, if you're starting to get like a tar buildup, if you poke a little hole on the side of it, it'll release some of the heat out of it, and that tar will kind of go away. So I'm still trying to learn about that. I've never really had an issue with tar too much. A smaller cigar that I'm smoking too quick, that's where I maybe get some tar issues. But still trying to learn that part of cigars, why the tar, why or what starts this tar buildup and how it's created, from the leaves. So I'm still trying to learn that. So if you guys know about the tar issues and you've experienced it a lot yourself, let me know what your experiences are and what you've done to take care of it, and let me know how that exactly uh, builds up the way it does, that tar inside your cigar. Let me know how that what causes that. Because I'm still confused by that. So anyway, um, it's still burning evenly. Thank gosh. I did have to give it a relight, but it's still staying lit. It's still burning evenly, and I'm getting still the cedar taste and a little bit of pepper, white pepper, but I'm also getting um, some little bit of chocolate and coffee, like roasted coffee taste as well right now. So, but it's been a good cigar. It's been tasting really good, actually. Really good cigar so far. So, I'm going to tell you, I do recommend that you guys find one of these and try it. I really do. There's also a Filthy Hooligan Black Market cigar as well. And I haven't tried that yet. I did pick that up along with this one. But this one had the better reviews. It had like a 5 star on almost every site I went to. It had a 5 star, where the other one didn't really have any rating on it. So I thought I'd try this one since most people rated it a 5 star. So, but I'd say probably at least a 4 star so far. It's burned it unevenly once. It's had to be relit once. Um, but since I've done that, it's doing well. So doing pretty well. So anyway, but it's been a pretty good tasting cigar, and I'll be honest, this is probably the first cigar I've smoked that's got the barber pole style wrapper on it like this. So I've been, besides, I did try a little Romeo Julieta cigar over in Rapid City last weekend. Um, uh, and I forget what it's called, but it was a very small cigar, and it had a little bit of the barber pole look to it. But it was a very small cigar, so it didn't take me very long to smoke it. So having this bigger cigar, the 6x50, I'm getting to enjoy the flavors that are coming off of this a little more because it's taking me a little more time to smoke it. So anyway, so for a larger cigar, this is the first one I've smoked with the barber pole, wrapper on it. And I was going to tell you guys also that the construction is really good on this. It's got a really nice smooth wrapper on it. It's got a little bit of veins running through it from the leaf, but overall it's pretty smooth feeling. So anyway, but I'm really enjoying the cigar so far, guys. Really enjoying it. I definitely recommend that you guys pick one of these up and try it. Anyway, so let me see what else is going on in the music world out there. Let's see here. Let me find the other news that's out there. Well, let me tell you some tours that are going on actually right now. Static X, if you guys are familiar with Static X, they've got, I've only seen one show with them so far, but they're going to be in Lincoln, Nebraska with Fear Factory, Dope, and Twisted. Um, and let's see here. Cultist Black Cultist Black Doors is another band. I've never heard of them. Never heard of those. I've never heard of that band, and I've heard of Twisted, but I've never listened to anything from them. I guess, but um, so they're going to be in Lincoln, Nebraska, um, and I guess let's see here. Well, shoot, you'll have to look up when they're going to be there. I thought what I had on here told me the date, but oh, it's April 9th. April 9th. I did find the date. April 9th. They'll be in Lincoln, Nebraska, and they'll be. Oh gosh, they're so it says all ages $30 to get in, which isn't too bad. And that's in advance. $35 a day of the show, and if you want a table for two, it's $110. Table of four is $220. And then an extra $105 if you want to do a VIP meet and greet on top of the price of your ticket. So that's not bad, I guess. And then Corey Taylor, he's doing a small tour right now, and he's with Cherry Bombs, um, and he's going to be in Reading, Pennsylvania, May 2nd, Johnstown, Pennsylvania, May 3rd, Moline, Illinois, May 5th, Green Bay, Wisconsin, May 7th, and so those are four places or four dates right now um, that he's got going. Maybe he'll end up extending. If it's successful, maybe he'll do some more dates after that. If you're a Corey Taylor fan, which you guys know, he's the lead singer for Slipknot, and Stone Sour was another band he had, which he ended Stone Sour, I guess. But so he's doing some solo stuff now. But if you guys are a fan of him, make sure you catch him if you're in those areas that I just mentioned. And then Danzig, they've got a big tour going on starting in June on the 9th. And their first dates at their first dates in Poland, and I cannot pronounce the city there, but they're at the Mystic Festival on, like I said, June 9th. I can't pronounce the city in Poland that they're going to be at. It's spelled Gdansk. If you guys know how to pronounce that, let me know. And then he's going to be singing. He brought out a song or an album where he did a bunch of Elvis songs. So he's going to be singing the Elvis songs, and that'll be June 10th in Los Angeles at the Montalban Theater. And then he'll be with the Misfits during some shows. He was originally the lead singer for the Misfits, so he'll be doing a Misfits set along with his Danzig set, I guess. But anyway, so they got a lot of dates coming up, and so if you're a Danzig fan, make sure you catch those guys. Um, and then April 2013. Um, let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I gotta apologize to you guys. Let's see here. That tour. Okay, so in June. Okay, never mind. I'm doing okay here, but they're going to be doing a anniversary tour um, with Doyle as the band they'll be with, and that's going to be starting April of this year. On the 17th, they'll be in Las Vegas at the House of Blues, and then they'll be in Denver, Colorado at the Ogden Theater, and then there's a bunch of other cities they'll be at. So their anniversary tour will start April of this year on the 17th. So maybe catch those shows if you can, but just Google Danzig Tour 2023 and you'll be able to find all the cities that they're going to be at. So catch them if you're a fan of them. And then of course Foreigner announced that they're doing a farewell tour, and they're with Loverboy as a supporting act. Um, and so they, starting July 6th, they'll be in Alpharetta, Georgia at the Ameris Bank Amphitheater. And then they're playing a bunch of cities. Um, they'll be in Denver, Colorado at the Ball Arena August 16th, which is about an hour and 45 minutes from me here. And then their tour will continue on through September 3rd. And they'll end it in Holmdel, New Jersey at the PNC Bank Arts Center and that'll be September 3rd of this year. So I don't know if they're going to do any more dates after that, but this is all it's showing for date wise. So I don't know if that's when they're going to do their very last show or if they're going to be doing some more dates after that. So anyway, I'm not sure, but catch Foreigner Loverboy. before Foreigner ends it. So, and you know, as far as I know, Loverboy isn't ending their band yet, which I'm a huge Loverboy fan. I've always been a big fan of those guys, and of course they're from Canada. So, but a great band that came out of the '80s, and they're still going. So catch them too, you know, because I don't know how long they'll be around even. So, but yeah, there's a lot of bands out there that are doing a lot of tours right now. But these bands that have been around a long time, we just don't know when they're going to end it. It could be any time. They may be around a few more years. It's hard to say. But a lot of bands are here and there retiring and doing farewell tours. And of course, Kiss, you know, they're going to end it in December on the first and second at um, in New York at the I'm trying to think of the arena. The big arena that's in New York there, but they're going to end their tour on the 1st and 2nd December. They'll be the last two songs that they, or two last two concerts that they do. And then they're talking about doing a one more Kiss cruise after that, but they won't be in makeup or anything during that cruise whenever that happens. So anyway, but catch Kiss before they end it too. They're going to be done after the 2nd of December. So, but they're going to do their last show in New York, and I sure wish I could be there to catch that. It'd be awesome to see that last show of theirs. I know it's going to be a pretty emotional show, you know, for them. So I know they're going to have a hard time with that. They started in New York. That's where they're from, and that's where they started out at, is in New York, and back in '73. And so they're going to be emotional. It's going to be a pretty emotional show. I really hope they'll put that out on Blu-ray or something to watch. I really hope they'll do that. I hope there will be some kind of source that I can watch, you know, at least on YouTube or something of that show. Hopefully they'll put the full show up, you know, the very last one they do. So, but anyway, so you guys catch them too, you know, and you know, of course, ACDC. There's no plans of touring right now or anything. You know, Brian Johnson recently said that he'd be up for doing another album and another tour, but no one's came to any agreement on that. So, but I've been waiting anxiously to see them as well. So, well, I'm gonna have to do another light or relight on this cigar. Um, so that's too bad. You know, it's been a really good cigar, but you shouldn't have to do a relight on cigars. You know, too much. Once is fine, but maybe twice. But after that, if you have to keep relighting it, it's probably, you know, due to maybe it not being, maybe it's just being rolled too tight, or not getting enough airflow through it. And I am going to try to kind of loosen it up just a little bit. I'm going to kind of roll that around on the inside of my ashtray a little bit, see if I can get some of that leaf loosened up a little bit, and maybe it'll stay lit for me a little bit better. So we'll see here. But overall, a really good cigar, though. I mean, it's tasting really good, and it's still burning evenly. It's not burning unevenly anymore. Just struggling to keep it lit, you know, here for some reason. So, but I know it's not because of how I'm keeping it stored. I keep my cigars around a 67 to 68 humidity level. So it's not at a level where it's going to be too moist or too dry. When you get below 62 or even a 62, I think cigars can get a little bit too dry. And if you get them up to 70 or above, you know, around 72 is the most you should let your cigars get to for humidity wise and temp wise. They can get too moist at that point. They can sometimes fall apart, or just not smoke very well, not taste very good, or stay lit, you know, maybe. but they can unravel easy and just not burn very well. But so I think the reason for this one was just maybe because of how it was rolled. Maybe it was just not rolled completely perfectly. But when I go to smoke another one later of these, it may not have any issues at all, and that's just what I've experienced. I do buy 2 or 3 cigars at a time of the same one, and a lot of the time, um, I might get one that doesn't do as good as it should, and then the next one or two may do really good. So that just happens. Sometimes you get a cigar that's just not rolled as well as maybe the other ones. So that you buy. But hopefully that'll be the last relight that I got to do on this. But it's tasting really good. It's not falling apart on me. It's not cracking or unraveling. It's staying, lit evenly, and but we just gotta see if we can keep this lit now without it burning out. So, but anyway, really good cigar though overall, guys. It really is. And like I said, the next one I try, I may not have any issues at all. It may just never have to be lit or touched up or anything. It may just be great. So, but I'm not gonna say this is a bad cigar. It's been really good. It really has. Um, but yeah, when you guys are hanging out with each other, in your cigar lounge, or you're out on someone's balcony or patio or whatever it may be, or you're at a cigar lounge, make sure you have a couple different lighters, one for a backup in case you run out of butane in one of them. Have a couple different lighters in case you get a couple different cigar size cigars that you buy at that lounge, or just make sure you're always prepared with the right cutters, right lighters for yourself. And if you're taking your little travel humidor with you to the cigar lounge, or if you're traveling with it, make sure you've got a Boveda pack in there. And I always keep a little hydrometer in there that tells me the temps and the humidity. So I always make sure I have that too. But just always be, you know, just always be, what am I trying to say? Just always make sure you have enough with you to keep your smoking experiences good and enjoyable. Don't run out of things that will cause you to not be able to have a good smoking experience. But I always also, when I travel or if I go somewhere, I keep one of these in my little cigar humidor, my travel humidor. These are really small little cans that you can buy for just a few bucks, and that way I always have a little extra butane with me in case I do run out of butane in my lighter. And then I make sure I have my Moveda packs. Let me show you. These are the smaller ones. These are a size 8, 72% is what I like to use. They keep my cigars just right in my humidors, my regular humidors and my travel humidors. So just make sure you have everything that you always need. So when you're with your buddies or you're traveling, whatever, that you always have what you need to uh, make it a good experience. So there's nothing like getting ready to go light your cigar and you find out your lighter is empty and almost empty, and you can't light your cigar the way you need to. Then you got to find a way uh, to find one, or to find one from somebody, or have to go buy one really quick so you can smoke. So just make sure you're always prepared, and have backups with you for any kind of situation you might run into. So but yeah, the smoke coming off of this is amazing smoke, and the smells are just really good still that I'm getting from it. Really good smells. Another thing I was going to tell you guys, and I've been mentioning it, don't take those bands off immediately. Leave them on. When you pull them off too soon, it can tear your wrapper, and then your cigar will fall apart on you. So wait until you get down to close to your wrapper. That way your cigar is warm, and the glue that's on the wrapper or on the cigar band will come off very easily, and it won't tear your cigar. And that way your cigar won't fall apart on you. So anyway, but I want to tell you guys also, um, check out this new band called Wings of Steel. They just came out last year. Young guys, but this album is really good. It's their first one. It's only got 5 songs on it, but the first one is Storm Child, which is really nice and good heavy song. And then Wings of Steel is their next song, which is the title to their album. And it's almost got a Judas Priest style sound to it, maybe mixed with, gosh, probably mixed with, I want to say, a mixture of kind of Judas Priest style vocals and and the speed of the song, the guitar riffs, maybe mixed with like I don't know, maybe Motley Crue or something. Kind of those kind of mixes of music, but and then the third song is Rhythm of Desire, and then Ramps and Riders, which is more of a kind of an acoustic type of song, acoustic guitars in it, and then Black Out the Streets, the last song on this, and it's a nice, good, hard rock song. But these guys are really good. I've really taken to these guys, and they're the newest metal band that I've discovered that's out in the States anyway. Um, but I got onto their Facebook page, which the band's called Wings of Steel. The album is self-titled, and I just got on their Facebook page and I ordered it. It was only $12, and really good CD. If you're looking for a new band to listen to, that's different. Check these guys out. And again, that's their album cover. But great band. You guys got to check that out. You got to check these guys out. Um, I'm just so glad that they're taking the torch and running with it and continuing to keep the metal scene alive. So I appreciate those guys for what they're doing. So they're working on a full length album right now. They are taking donations. If you want to give donations, I'll put your name on their new album. So check those guys out. Check them out. They're great. Wings of Steel, their self-titled song is on YouTube if you want to check it out. And they've got a couple other songs on there too, which I'm trying to remember which ones it was that they made the videos for. But check it out. They're a great band. They really are a great band. And let's see here. Um, More news. Michael Sweet and George Lynch got together and did a new Sweet and Lynch album. It's out right now. It's called Heart and Sacrifice, and it's on Frontier Records. Um, from what I'm hearing so far, really good. Really good. So, um, but let's see here. Their new song is called "You'll Never Be Alone," and it's really good, guys. You gotta check it out. Check it out if you're Michael Sweet fan from Striper and George Lynch fan from Dokken. Um, and let's see here, Lynch Mob was another band he had. But if you're a George Lynch fan, Michael Sweet fan, if you never listened to Sweet Lynch, you got to check them out. They've got 2 other albums previous to this one that are really good too. So check them out, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And then also, Winger has a new album out now. Also, it is called Seven. Is the name of their album, and I think it refers to this is their 7th studio album. But their new single is called "Proud Desperado," and I just checked that song out on YouTube. Really good sound to their music. I mean, it's definitely got the Winger sound. If you're into Winger, they got that Winger sound. So check them out, and I think you'll really enjoy what they're doing right now. And they got a big tour planned right now. Um, they're starting out in Los Angeles. Featuring Ghosts is the name of the band, I guess. And that's going to be in Santa Monica, California on March 16th. And then they'll tour through until their last show will be June 18th. And they're going to be with Tom Kiefer and John Carabel. Um, John Carabel and Tom Kiefer. And that's going to be at Dr. Pepper Park in Roanoke, Virginia, and that's going to be at the Riverwalk Parking Deck is where they're going to be playing. So they got definitely some good shows coming up to catch. So make sure you look up Winger and catch whatever tour dates they've got. Check it out, and hopefully you can get a chance to see them. I'm hoping they'll be in our area sometime so I can check them out again. I've seen Winger a couple times. I saw him back in 2014 at the Rock and the Railroad Festival in Sheridan, Wyoming, and I saw him when they first started out at the Casper Event Center, opening up for Cinderella on the Long Cold Winter Tour, which was back in 1988. And but that's a band that's really good. And if you're new to the hard rock metal scene, check Winger out. I think you'll really like them. Um, they're more on the softer hard rock side of things, I would say, but they got some good hard heavy hitters as well, and they got a lot of ballad type stuff too. But which I've always been a sucker for ballads, so I've always liked ballads from the hard rock heavy metal bands that came out of the '80s. So huge fan of the ballads. So um, maybe it's the Italian in me. I've got that softer side of myself that likes that kind of stuff. So anyway, but anyway, so check those guys out. I don't know. I think they're going to have a lot of success with this new album that they're doing. I think they're going to get a lot of attention with it, and I think people will enjoy getting to go see them again and get to hear the old songs again as well that they'll play. I know they'll play their whole catalog, so I know fans will be great or excited to see what they're doing. And I've checked out some of their live stuff and their more recent live stuff, and it's all really good. It's really good stuff. So they're sounding great. Kid Winger still has a great voice, and they've still got that Winger sound if you know what I'm talking about. So, but I'm getting close to the wrapper here. I'm gonna give it a few more puffs before I take that wrapper off, I think. And then I'll have a little bit of time I'll have a little more to smoke on this as well. So, but I wanted to show you guys, I'm really hoping AC/DC will tour soon. I really miss them. I know my brother wants to see him as well, so we're hoping to go see him together whenever that happens. But I'm hoping they'll do a comeback tour and have a great big, long lasting tour again. But I kind of brought some of my album collection of AC/DC. This isn't my whole collection, but it's my favorites. Um, but anyway, so the first one is, of course, High Voltage that came out in '74. And there's the back of it. Any of you new metal fans out there, check out the older AC/DC stuff. I know a lot of you may have been listening to the albums with Brian Johnson that replaced Bon Scott after he died in '79, or died in 90. It was around '79 that he died, and then Brian Johnson took over. But you got to check out High Voltage. But that's the first album they brought out that was available in the States. Of course, they're from Australia, but I'm sure you know who AC/DC is, even if you're a new fan of hard rock, heavy metal. And just real quick, I'm getting a lot of kind of a cedar taste, and not so much of the chalk, or not so much of the coffee or the sweetness right now, but more of the cedar kind of a taste to it. But it's still tasting really good, and it's still burning pretty evenly. And so I've been pretty happy with this cigar so far. I really, even though I've had to relight it a couple times and had to touch it up once, I've still really been enjoying the cigar. So, but I don't know. I'm probably going to rate it at least an 89, just because it does have good construction, a lot of great taste, a lot of great aromas from it. But I'm giving it a lower score just because of having to relight it and touch it up, but overall, pretty good cigar, So I'm gonna rate it probably around an 89. I better take a drink here, get my palate moistened up a little bit here, but that is good beer, guys. If you get a chance to try that um, that I mentioned. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this wrapper off, I think. And when I take these off, I'm usually very careful, even though the glue is kind of warmed up and loosened up. I still take these off very carefully. I don't want to take them off too quick and still take a chance to, tear my wrapper. But there you go. Um, but there's the. Let me get you a close up of the cigar or the band, the cigar band here. But I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's what it looks like. It's a neat band, definitely made for St. Patrick's Day, and these only come out once a year around St. Patrick's Day for the St. Patrick's holiday. Um, so they only bring these out once a year. So grab a hold of some of these, and um, if you like to age your cigars, let them sit in there, for a good year, and then try it. I know cigars can, after they've aged for a little bit of time, they can taste better. So anyway, like I said, I've been aging this one since last summer. So um, well, yeah, it was around summertime that I picked these up. So I did, of course, have it for last St. Patrick's Day. So, but definitely glad I waited. Um, it's a really good tasting cigar. It really is. So anyway, so the next album I've got from ACDC is the Dirty D's Done Dirt Cheap album, and that came out in '74 as well. This was their second album. There's the back of it, and I guess I should go back to the first album. Some of the great songs on here are "It's a Long Way to the Top," "If You Want to Rock and Roll." Um, let's see here. "High Voltage" was another big song on there that they put out, and then on the Dirty D's Done Dirt Cheap album. Some of the favorites on here, of course, the Dirty D's Done Dirt Cheap song. Problem Child is another great song on here. Um, and Ride On is a really great, slower, kind of a ballad type song. Bluesy, very bluesy, which ACDC's music is very bluesy overall. But so great album there. Um, And then another one of my favorites, of course, is Let There Be Rock. Right there. There's the back of it. Nice picture of Angus Young. And some of the great songs on this is Go Down and Dog Eat Dog, Let There Be Rock, Problem Child, and Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be in. Whole Lot of Rosie on this one. And this came out in '77. So anyway, but another great album from the Bon Scott era right there. And then, of course, this is my favorite album from the Bon Scott era. And, of course, it's the Highway to Hell album right there. And, of course, this whole album's just great. The title song, Highway to Hell, and Girls Got Rhythm, Walk All Over You, Touch Too Much, um, Shot Down in Flames, Get It Hot If You Want Blood, You've Got It. Love Hungry Man's another great song on there. But anyway, there it is, Highway to Hell. Great, great album. And this was the last album that Bon Scott did with ACDC before he passed away. And of course, like I said, this album came out in '79, and he passed away not too long after this album was put out. So rest in peace, Bon. You're missed, definitely. And then, of course, in 1980, ACDC Back in Black, which was a tribute to Bon Scott, of course. That's why it's all in black. But a lot of great songs on here. Back in Black, Hell's Bell, Shoot to Thrill, um, Giving the Dog a Bone, What Do You Do for Money, Honey, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. That's a great anthem. You Shook Me All Night Long, and Have a Drink on Me, which, that was dedicated to Bon as well, that song. So, great album, Back in Black. And it's just all in black. And then in '81, um, they brought out For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, right there. And it's just all in gold. But songs on here is For Those About to Rock. I put the finger on you. Let's Get It Up. Let's see here. Evil Walks. Um, and let's see. Yeah, those were just really great songs on there that they brought out off of that album. And then we'll jump ahead a little bit into the Brian Johnson era, but this is the Razor's Edge album, and that came out in '90, I believe. No, I'm sorry. Let's see here. Yeah, 1990 is when the Razor's Edge came out. That's a really great album. Thunderstruck, Fire Your Guns, Money Talks. Um, let's see here. Are You Ready? Shot of Love. Goodbye and Good Riddance to Bad Luck. Great songs on that album. Again, that came out in '90. Razor's Edge. There's a song listing on the back. And then, of course, they did a big tour on that album, and so they brought out this really great live album called AC/DC Live, and it's got their whole catalog up through the Razor's Edge album, you know. So, but there's the back of it, double LP, really great live album. If you're looking for a great AC/DC live album to listen to, with the Bon Scott or with the Brian Johnson era, great AC/DC live album. So, and then after that, they brought out Ball Breaker right there, and that came out in '80. I'm sorry, not '80, 1995 is when Ball Breaker came out, and there's the back of it. And some of the great songs they had on here is "Hard as a Rock," "Cover You in Oil." Let's see, "Hail Caesar" was another great song, and then of course the title track "Ball Breaker." So that's a really good bluesy hard rock album if you're looking for another great AC/DC album to listen to. And I think some of these are kind of easy to find still. I don't know. I know they're probably considered out of print now, but they're probably some of these are probably easy to find. The Ball Breaker album was a hard one to find. It took me a while to find that album, but I've got all these on CD as well. So, and then their recent album, the last album they've done is Power Up, and that's a really good album too. And that came out. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember the year this came out. It was a few years back. Well, I think it came out. Um, let's see. Well, see. I think it came out probably at least 3 years ago. This album, I believe so. But last album they've done, you know. So, and this is a special edition with the red LPs in it. So, but great album featuring the song "Shot in the Dark." And let's see, some of the other great songs on here were, let's see, Witch's Spell, Demon Fire. Um, I think Money Shots is another one they maybe promoted, which I remember is a really good song. But try to find this album too. It may be the last album they do. I don't know. There's no news on them doing another album. So I don't know if they're going to ever do another album or another tour or anything. There's just no news on anything they're doing. So, and Brian Johnson has actually been asked to, from the band, to not reveal anything about their future, just so bad rumors aren't, or, you know, so negative rumors aren't being started or any kind of drama or anything like that. So, but ACDC, I hope you guys will do a band or another album and tour soon. I really do. You guys are missed. So hopefully you guys will do something soon. I really do hope. So anyway, but that's my ACDC collection. And then since this is a St. Patrick's Day special, um, oh, before I get into that, I also wanted to announce that Def Leppard just brought out a new album. It's going to be coming out. Let's see, ships May 18th. If you get on their website and order it, you can pre-order it right now. The CD is $14. I'm not sure how much the album is, but it's called. Let's see here. It's called. Um, Drastic Symphonies is the name of the new Def Leppard album coming out on May 18th. And what they've done is they've taken all the old hits and they've added the Philharmonic or the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra with them, with those, with all their hits from the past. So um, it looks like it's going to be a really good album. I listened to on Hair Nation today. They played Animal with that orchestra music, and it sounded really, really good. So I'm really anxious to pick this album up and listen to it. But if you like orchestras and you like hard rock mixed with it, that'd be a great album, I believe, to probably pick up. I know Kiss, did that once, and then Metallica's done it with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. Um, so I mean, they've done it, So, and it always sounds really good. It really does. So I'm definitely anxious to pick that up. Get a drink of some water here. And again, if you're looking for something else that's really good with cigars, um, I discussed this Liquid Death. It's kind of a sparkling water. All kinds of there's different flavors of waters. There's even teas that you can get with it, and I've been carrying those at my store here recently. I was supposed to get them last year, but production issues kept me from getting them. But if you're looking for some really good sparkling water to drink, maybe with your cigars, and they're just really refreshing tasting. They don't have any weird artificial taste or anything. They're just very crisp and very clean tasting waters. So if you like sparkling waters, look up the Liquid Death waters if you're ever out. And if you run across those, try them. So I think you'll really enjoy those. I'm kind of getting down into my last third here, and getting some of the coffee taste again, getting that kind of back again. So, but it's still burning evenly. I haven't had to retouch it, so that's good. It's still staying lit, thank gosh. So so anyway, I'm really enjoying this cigar, even though I've had to touch it up and relight it, a couple of times. It's really been a good cigar, but something I really kind of wanted to get into today, and I thought since this was a St. Patrick's Day special of Harper Cigar Lounge episode uh, nine, episode nine, um, I wanted to. I started looking up Irish metal bands, and I couldn't believe what I ran across. I didn't think there'd be very much of that, but there's a huge scene over in Ireland with heavy metal. So I was really blown away by some of the stuff that I found, um, and there's just so many bands. I was totally blown away by what I found, and I'm trying to find some of the listing of those bands here. Let's see. Let's see. Where did they go here? I will find them. Okay, here we go. So, excuse me. One of the bands I found out about, and I don't have any imagery or I've never listened to any of these bands, but one band's called Altar of Plagues. Another one's called Malthusian, if I'm pronouncing that right. From the Bogs of Augiska, Zome, Primordial, Dread Sovereign, Abaddon Incarnate, Male Morda, something like that. Morning Beloved, Gamma Bomb, and a band that I started actually looking up. They're called Black Lakes, and I got on YouTube, and they were the first band I looked up on you. Well, I got on YouTube and looked up Irish metal bands, and this band was the first band that popped up. They're called Black Lakes, and the song they have recently is called Verity and Flames. And so I watched the video of it and listened to it. I had my wife listen to it, and we were both really impressed. But they're kind of a somewhat emo metal kind of like band, but their music was really good, and so um, looked into them a little more, and they've got quite a few albums out actually. Um, let's see here. So the first album they brought out is called The Divide, and that came out in 2018. And so I'm definitely going to look up some of these past albums. And I found out I can download some of this stuff on my iTunes on my phone. But then they've got one called Dissident. They came out in 2019. And then Death Throne in 2020. Another, and I don't know if this is a single or an actual album, but it's called Ghosts, and that came out in October of 2019. And then Fragments, that came out in 2021. And then their recent one is called Break the Silence, and I'm sorry, that came out in 2020. Their recent one is called For All We've Left Behind is their newest one, and the song they brought off of that is called Verity in Flames, and that song is really good. I couldn't believe how good they sounded. So check out Black Lakes. Boy, they're good, and I'm just so impressed with these guys. But I got on their website. Of course, they don't ship anything to the states, so I'm going to have to download some of their music on my iTunes to have some of it. But their lead vocalist is Will Preston, and their guitars and vocals is from Scott Bradshaw. Another guitarist in their band that does vocals as well as James Rollins. And then their bass guitarist is Lee Harris. And their drummer and does backup vocals as well is Defod Fuller, if I'm pronouncing that right. But you guys gotta check out these guys. They are really good, really good. So I wish I would have discovered these guys sooner. But really good band, and I can't wait to check out more of their stuff. And then let's see here. Some of the other bands I found out about, which I haven't listened to yet, is called Wolf Chant. And then there's let's see here. The writing's kind of hard to read on this, but Northland is the name of another band, and I'll have to look up some of these bands on YouTube. And then there's let's see here. Wugor or something they're called. I can't pronounce that one very well. And then Sabaton. So anyway, there's a bunch of Irish metal bands out there. If you guys are interested in looking up some different metal that maybe you've never listened to from other countries, but very impressed with Black Lakes, and so I started listening to them a little bit. So I suggest you guys check them out if you're wanting to listen to something different. But some of the other stuff I kind of listened. Some of these other bands I got some samples of how they sound, and just a lot of Celtic sounds, and the vocals were just so Celtic sounding, and just a lot of heavy riffs with it, mixed in with bagpipes and flutes and different things. So really different stuff. But Black Lakes is just all hard rock, heavy metal sound. It's really pretty heavy sounding stuff. Um, so check those guys out. Check those guys out. I think you'll enjoy some of that stuff that they've got. So anyway, um, again, I'm glad you guys hung out with me today a little bit. I'm gonna probably end this podcast here in a minute or two. I know you guys are probably got some things going on that you need to go do or something, maybe, and maybe you're wanting to go with some family and celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Whatever you got going on, I won't try to keep you from it. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me a little bit today, and let me smoke this cigar for you and tell you what I think about it. Um, but um, this has been really enjoyable today. I'm glad we can hang out a little bit and discuss, things that are going on with the music world out there, and kind of show you my ACDC collection. And gosh, I hope ACDC will get together soon and do something. I really do hope so. But there's just so much great music out there, and there's so many bands that have been around a while that are going away. But I'm hoping to catch as many shows as I can. I'm going to finally catch up with Striper and May, good buddies of mine that I have known for a long time. Got to work with them back in the 90s during the Against the Law tour, and we've kept in touch. I've seen them, off and on over the years, and get to go hang out, and catch up with those guys. But great guys, and their mother Jen is sweet. I keep in touch with her, which she's the mother of Robert Sweet, Michael Sweet. Michael Sweet's the lead singer. Robert Sweet's the drummer. And then of course Oz Fox, he's their guitarist, and then Perry Richardson, that was with Firehouse for a lot of years, co-founding member of Firehouse. He's been a striper now for a few years, so I'll be glad to finally get to meet him. I miss Timothy Gaines, definitely. That's not with Striper anymore, which is one of the co-founding members of Striper, but he's all doing his own things and he's doing good. So I'm glad Timothy Gaines is doing good. So God bless you, Timothy, and you're not forgotten by any means. Um, but catch as many shows as you can, guys, because we don't know when they're gonna end things, So stay out there and support metal. Keep rocking. Keep those fists pumped in the air, and keep supporting these bands that are around. Hopefully, they'll be around a long time. But there's a good, decent amount of bands still touring, but they're getting up there in age, and they've been around a long time, and a lot of them are talking about maybe ending it in the future. So, but Kiss ending it in December is going to be hard to deal with for me too, because I've been such a Kiss fan all my life, but got a lot of great memories from that band. So I'll hold on to those memories, and every time I listen to them, I'll remember all the great memories of all the shows I've been to with Kiss. So anyway, but yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. If you're a member of Harper Cigar Lounge on the Facebook group page, thank you. Without you, none of this would be possible. It wouldn't mean anything without you. You guys are all very special and dear to my heart. And I want to say hi to my family and friends. God bless all of you. I love you. And all of you guys that are in the Harper Cigar Lounge family, love you. God bless you. And please stay in touch with me. Let me know how you're doing. I'll continue to stay in touch with you guys. I'll continue to put my little short videos up saying hi to you guys and keep in touch and let you guys know how I'm doing. But message me. Let me know how you're doing. Stay in touch. And if you haven't joined the my YouTube channel on YouTube under Harper Cigar Lounge, please do. Check out the past podcasts that I've done. And there's a couple short little funny videos too under Harper Cigar Lounge that you can check out that you might get a nice little laugh from. That just blooper stuff, from material that we couldn't use because of some of my screw ups and different things. But check those out too. I think you might enjoy those as well. But thank you guys, and you guys are family, and you guys are in my prayers and thoughts every day, and I will continue to keep in touch. Please keep in touch with me, like I said. And without you guys, this wouldn't be possible, like I said. So, anyway, this cigar is almost done. There's not much left. I'm getting a lot of cedar and some of the coffees right now, and it's still burning evenly. Great construction on the cigar. Aroma is still great. Just really great cigar. And again, this was the Alec Bradley Filthy Hooligan, and it's a 6x50, and the fillers Honduras, Panama, binders Ecuador, Sumatra, wrappers Barber Pole, Candela, Habano, Maduro. So, and again, it runs around it runs around $13.99 approximately for a stick. 5 pack, 61.43. A box, I believe, of a box of 10. It says on here is around $122.99. So anyway, grab a hold of some of these. They are really good. And I expect the next cigar that I smoke of this, it'll be even better than this one probably. So anyway, God bless you guys. Thanks for hanging out today. And next week I'll be doing episode 10. And I've got another very special cigar to smoke for you guys on that one. So I can't believe it'll be 10 podcasts now in that I'll be doing. It's been great so far, and I've been really enjoying doing this, hanging out with you guys, getting to know you. And God bless. Thanks for hanging out. And keep rocking, keep metal alive, keep those fists pumped. And you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend coming up here. And I'll see you guys in the comments. I'll see you guys on my Facebook page under Harper Cigar Lounge. And I will see you guys next week too. So God bless, guys. And keep rocking, guys. God bless. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.